Hi, I'm Jen with Start With Soap, and in this video we're talking shampoo, or in my case, the lack thereof. Chances are you're watching this video because you saw that I haven't washed my hair in 4 years and you're wondering why and what does our hair look like now. So we're going to talk about both of those things. First I'll start with the why. So back in April or May of 2020 when my son's health challenges were really starting and I realized that detergent exposure could be a piece of the problem we were facing, and I was trying to eliminate detergents from everywhere in our home. That was a really overwhelming time. And as I've talked about in other places on my website and other videos, the solution ended up being pretty simple: to switch over to a true soap and just use one product for the 20 different products I had previously been using. But shampoo felt like its own separate problem. I just didn't feel like I could even deal with finding a different shampoo and kind of an acceptable shampoo, if you will. And also in April, May 2020, as everyone knows, everything was shutting down and there was very little interpersonal contact anyway. And so I was kind of like, you know what, forget it. I'm just not going to wash my hair because I can't have that be a constant detergent exposure for my son. You know, when you put shampoo on your hair, it's not just on your hair, it's on your whole body and the residues on your clothing. And at the time, my son was about 6 months old. And so I was constantly holding him. And so he was going to be touching, all of that detergent residue. And I couldn't think of an acceptable replacement. And honestly, it just didn't really matter at that point. It was the appearance of my hair was such a low priority at that time that I was like, who cares? I'm just not going to wash my hair anymore. Since then, I have gotten into an actual routine, and I'll show you what that routine looks like. It's very easy. Basically, I use a brush, and this is a boar's bristle brush, to brush my hair maybe every couple days, every few days. And then I rinse my hair with water maybe like once a week. It kind of just depends what it's looking like, what it's feeling like, if it needs a water rinse. So, and also the time of year, maybe more often during the summer and less often during the winter. So I'll show you how I use the boar's bristle brush. But first I want to show you what my hair looks like, because as soon as I tell people that I haven't washed my hair in 4 years, first they give me like a blank stare. They don't understand what I'm saying. And then they start staring at my head to try to figure out, like how it makes sense what I'm saying. So I'm going to try to show you some close-ups of kind of the top of my head, the side of my head, the back of my head, so that you can see you really can have a pretty normal looking head of hair without using shampoo. And I'll also mention, my husband has very short hair, like a, one buzz cut. My boys have longer boy hair, not like long hair, but just scissor trim. So, above the ears, but trimmed with scissors as opposed to a buzz cut. And my boys have never used shampoo. And you would never know that looking at their hair. And my husband, you wouldn't know, with a one buzz cut, you wouldn't know what he does with his hair anyway. So let me give you some close-ups of my head and then I'll show you how I use my boar bristle brush. Okay, so here's the top of my scalp, and I did just rinse with water maybe yesterday. I actually think that it tends to look a little better as time goes on. Because it's maybe a little drier right after I rinse it. But anyway, you can kind of see, hopefully, you're seeing the full picture of my head. Okay, so now let me show you how I use the boar bristle brush. And the idea behind this brush is that its bristles pull the natural oils near your scalp down the entire length of your hair, where it can then be absorbed by your hair and kind of condition naturally your whole strand of hair. And so that's why it's this particular type of brush. And so what I do when I'm brushing my hair, when I used to straighten my hair, this is how I used to do it. And I have really thick hair, so I kind of have to pull it up into sections like this. So I expose the bottom layer, and then you can find much more elaborate tutorials on how to do this. But the basic idea is that you're using your fingers to kind of do a first pass over the whole length of your hair, and then you follow up with the brush. And so I just go around my head like that. And I have brushed my hair earlier today, so there's not a whole lot of change you're going to be seeing as I brush it. So then I get the next layer, brush that. And again, if you have thinner hair, I don't know, maybe you don't even have to section it off. This is just what makes it manageable for me. And I'm going a little quickly here, but even if I were taking my time, this is maybe a 3-minute task. So pretty quick. And sometimes I do it at night before I go to bed, sometimes I do it in the morning. I don't really notice much difference there in terms of the time of day that I do it. Okay, so that's it. So like I said, I think, I don't know, maybe best practice is to do that daily or every other day. I'm not that diligent in doing it. I kind of can tell when my hair is starting to look greasy. I'm like, okay, it's time to brush my hair. The question I often get is about smell. What does my hair smell like? Does it stink? And if I were with you in person, I would hold out a chunk of my hair and make you smell it so you can see it doesn't stink. It has what I'll describe as a natural human head smell, and that probably sounds totally gross to you if you don't know what I'm talking about, and especially if you've grown accustomed to the smell of fragrance shampoo and you associate that with what hair should smell like. But let me tell you that the smell of especially your kid's head is the most wonderful, powerfully grounding smell I think you can find. It is stress relieving, you feel connected, you're present. When I'm feeling stressed, I will literally smell my kid's head to come down a notch. I realize that probably sounds totally crazy to a decent number of people, and if you're one of those people, don't totally write it off because you might surprise yourself later on. You might find yourself taking a big whiff of your kid's natural human head too. Okay, I've gotten off track a little bit, but the point is, the answer to the question of does it smell is that no, it does not stink. I have wonderful friends and family who are willing to be guinea pigs for all kinds of ideas that I have. I realize that this is not an area that a lot of people are interested in going. Most people are interested in a replacement for the detergent-based shampoo products that they're using. So I totally understand that, but also people are often very curious about what it means to not wash your hair. And so I think even if you're not ready to give up shampoo, or if you're never going to be ready to give up shampoo, hopefully this at least answers some of the questions that you might have about it.